let's get this out of the way. Medrunners are delusional dumb fucks who don't know what Star Citizen really is, and the guy that made that video is a disingenuous snake and he sounds like a bitch. Now that that's out of the way, let's actually look into the real root of these problems and why orgs in Star Citizen are so fucking shitty, right? A common thing that I always hear from people is, oh, I don't want to join an org. This org is just, it's stupid. I've had a bad experience. They don't do anything. They're either inactive. They have archaic policies, whatever. Orgs, or majority of them, are like this because there's nothing for orgs to do in Star Citizen. So people just LARP. They make shit up. That's it. So an org will have this insane, convoluted role-play tier list of requirements or some type of wannabe business-like charter that you have to sign and join. That shit is fucking stupid, and that sucks. And I have no idea why people would want to be in those kind of groups. And most people don't. So a new player who comes into Star Citizen, which is a game that you have to play with an org on, is you join these orgs, and they give you just awful experience. You've either got some Janny on a Discord up your ass about your behavior, or you've got some dumb fuck officer or admiral, whatever the fuck they call themselves, whatever military rank they give themselves in game, talking about what you have to do and when you have to do it and having some insane requirements. So players see that and I go, well, I don't know anything about this fucking game. Why is this here? What am I doing here? And they just leave. They don't join another one. And they either individually enjoy the game or they just get lost because there's no tutorial and nobody there to teach them. Also, the other type of org you get are the orgs where they just exist solely to advance the career, and I put this in quotations, the careers of a YouTuber or a Twitcher or an influencer, whatever, right? To advance their careers in a game that's relatively unpopular and kind of dead, and they're trying to play this game to get themselves ahead of it. They're trying to build their brand, work on something like that, and they're using these people to generate content to try and build that up. They don't give a shit about their orgs. They don't give a shit about the people there. It's entirely self-serving. And all of these things are because there's nothing for orgs to do in Star Citizen. That's it. Hell, look at this stupid video I'm making, this recording. Because I don't have much to do with our org in Star Citizen, but I find things to realistically do.
Sure. Actually, no.
Oh, he's death spiraling.
Direct front.
Direct front. Looking.
Oh my god. We don't roleplay in our org, right? We go out to Xenothreat and we kill. We kill players, we kill them. We go to Everest Harbor, we camp it, we kill players. We run around the world with Crime Stat 5 and we kill the bounty hunters. Okay, or we log in. If we don't have crime stat, we go after players. We play the game as it is for what it is. We don't try to force something out of the game that doesn't exist. We don't try to make the game into something that it's not. And that's what a lot of these orgs do. And by doing that, you're just causing players to have an awful opinion of orgs. I would say the majority of the orgs in Star Citizen currently fall into a few categories, right? LARPing nonsense bullshit, like Medrunners. Over-the-top milsim. There's a lot of those. I'm not going to name any of them, but there's a lot of those, the milsim LARPing. People who are hoping for the future. They're completely subscribed to this like EVE Online-esque game that may or may not exist. Generic PvP org that just runs around and kills. And then you got the realistic ones. I like to think that my org, the Enclave, is a mixture of the realistic one and the PvP one. We PvP because it's fun. Killing people's fun. Listening to them cry is fun. And we're realistic because we know what the game is, and as I stated earlier, we play it for what it is in the realm of what it is. We don't try to force something out of it that it's not. We have requirements, right? We have quote-unquote uniforms. We totally do.
Uniform soldier, where is your power armor?
We want everybody wearing Morozov Red Shift. We want them using the same weapons. And this is done for two reasons. It's done for IFF, because you can't tell who's who in this game half of the time because the party icons don't work. And two, because we've always had like some kind of uniform. But outside of doing a couple events that we use it, that's it. It's the only time we require it. We don't have anybody do it. And majority of the time, we end up just giving people the stuff anyway. They show up, oh man, Buzz, I didn't have my shit. Could you help me out? Let's give them all the crap. We go out and we slay. That's what we do. That's how we are. But I guess to wrap this up, right, is you're not going to see any real orgs in Star Citizen until Star Citizen starts supporting orgs. We don't have org chat in game. We don't have any type of org activity. We don't have any significant realistic org leaderboards. We have nothing for orgs to do and to influence the game. The game is just not there yet. It's not enough of a sandbox. And any org that's trying to force the game to be something it's not, it's probably one you don't want to join. So if by some stance you come across this video and you're still here after the 5-minute mark, and you want to join an org, either join ours, because I'm biased, or find one that's completely and totally realistic with what the game really is. Care Bears will truly stop at nothing to try and get PvP removed from the game or classified as griefing. They will go as far as to call you a racist for PvPing in Star Citizen. That's true. They'll call you a racist. So, since Xenothreat's been going on, this absolute disaster of an event, I guess a stress test, right? But whatever it is. There have been a loud, vocal, I would say, minority of players in the universe who have been using this opportunity to go on the forums and bitch and complain about, what else? PvPers. So, I was browsing around and have been following this, and I'm definitely part of the problem, because I go out there and I kill all the players doing Xenothreat, because I think Xenothreat is cool, and I think killing players is fun. But ignoring that, I came across this Reddit thread, and it was called Xenothreat Sympathizers, right? It's in quotations. So they say, go on, this is Reddit too, so you obviously know how high of a quality opinion this is going to be. So, how long are we going to pretend a group gathered at one of the biggest events in the game right now, shooting down anyone who approaches, functionally shutting it down, isn't griefing? So while you're being shot at, you also shoot your allies as a group. You think it makes logical sense to cover it up by using roleplay, game mechanics, or some other half-baked reasoning that anyone else might be okay with accepting? I just want you to explain to me why shutting down an event isn't griefing. So, what is your reasoning? Well, I mean, to address that general question or statement, and not this particular person in general, is that it is not griefing because you can fight back. You have everything in your power to prevent this from happening. I would argue that you have every advantage in this situation as a lawful player. One, anybody who plays this game knows, okay, you know this. PvP is purely consensual. Somebody jumps you and wants to kill you, you just leave. You leave the area. You get out of there. You fly off at insane speed. You decouple. You find someplace to jump to. You jump. You're out of there. So yes, it's purely consensual. But if somebody shows up and they're trying to kill players at Xenothreat, they're going to show up as red. They're going to be attacked by Jericho Station. They may be attacked by the Javelin itself. They'll be attacked by any UEE Navy NPCs. And they're also going to have a way to be tracked via Bounty Hunter. So if you take the Bounty Hunter cert, you can track them. So they have everything going against them. And Xenothreat, the NPCs are going to also be shooting at them. So by that right there, it's not griefing. People only think PvP is griefing because they're just bad at it, and they accept this permanent victim mentality. It's wah, 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 cry, 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 the eternal bitch going to the hall monitor and trying to rat people out and appealing to authority. It's not about nutting up and getting things done yourself or taking care of your own problems. It's about finding somebody else to take care of the problems for you, or in this case, it's about getting CIG to potentially remove and make sure that players can't, do PvP. Thankfully, CIG's responded to these complaints, and here's a little excerpt from, it's also posted in that thread, but this is from CIG itself. The question was, will future dynamic events offer reputation-based rewards for players choosing to side with the Xenothreat to fight the CDF? The answer was, whenever it is we next run a Xenothreat event, it is to my personal hope and intent that we have the necessary clarity of markers to deliver it with a counter mission for Xenothreat supporters. So, if the assumption is we get a counter mission, my assumption would be that rewards based on rep would be available. This is not mine to promise, but I do see it as the next big and exciting thing to properly tackle. Well, you got it right there from CIG itself. They've been doing the right thing this whole time. They are constantly adding PvP content because a universe without danger is boring. No matter what the vocal minority who bitches and whines and cries on a forum say, they don't know what's best for the game. They don't even know what's best for themselves. The universe without danger dangers can only come from players is going to be fucking boring, and CIG seems to know that, as is evident with further patches coming down the road that are adding even more PvP content to the game. The Care Bears will cry, they'll piss, they'll moan. There's no limit to these people, right? There's no limit to where they won't go to try and get PvP removed from the game. And this is proved further by these amazing Discord and, again, Reddit and Discord, too, the greatest place to get opinions. Reddit and Discord. From these Discord comments that were sent to me by some very special people out there, and I'm going to quote this. This is a pretty good one. I'm fine with not being able to choose sides in Xenothreat. It'd be a bad look for the developer to give you a sanctioned chance to be a space racist. Yeah, it's a space racist, okay? He then further goes on to say, if it's your dream to roleplay as a racist, that's an issue with you, not me. I'm here. This goes on further while I'm whining about something with, Xenothreat edgelords. This guy goes on, he goes, oh, absolutely, all of this is an edgy lord who likes Xenothreat types are just that, they're bigots. And then his final remark is, I'm here for that. Let the bigots rot in a different server. So we are now equating Xenothreat PvP, this is a fictional faction in a universe with aliens, with real-life racism. That is where these people are willing to go. And it sounds ridiculous to you, to me. I would hope to you, but definitely to me, it sounds ridiculous. Let's look at it from an in-game lore standpoint, right? I'm not particularly well-versed in the Star Citizen universe or the lore, but to the best of my knowledge, the majority of the alien races that humanity discovered were openly hostile. I believe one is, I think maybe it's a Xian, maybe, or openly slavers. So it would definitely make sense for humanity, for man, to despise and dislike and have a very militant anti-alien sect within it, especially if that sect, Xenothreat, which is, to my knowledge, a bunch of former UEE Navy military personnel that are fed up with humanity brokering deals and working with alien races. I think that makes sense. And you can call it roleplay. I'm fine with roleplay. I think roleplay's fine, even though I make fun of LARPing. I think they're two different things, but that's for a different discussion. But I don't want to side with aliens. If I could join a faction that can kill aliens and then kill people who think aliens are wholesome and should be welcomed with open arms into human borders, and I'm all about stopping them and throwing them out with them, right? Kill them too.
I'm from Buenos Aires, and I say kill them all! Yeah!
I want to roundhouse kick a Tavaran into a tree. I don't know about you guys, but think about that. That's what these people will do. This is where they will go. They will inject real-life politics and play upon emotions to try and get PvP shut down and stopped in the games that we play.